My daddy is my best friend. He plays with me all the time. But a while back, he couldn't play with me at all. He was sick. Mama told me, "Don't worry, baby. Papa is being cared by the best doctors." Doctor uncle was very sweet. He told me that he was going to give a bigger space in my papa's heart to love me. The nurses over there made Papa smile all the time. One day, they took Papa to a room. Like in Ben 10, there were very big machines. Mama said that Papa will be back home very soon. And in 2 days, Papa was alright. I love you, Daddy.
Some things in life are beyond value. Love, care, and your heart. Apollo Hospitals. Because your heart is priceless.
A very good evening to everyone watching this special episode of the Carpe Diem series. I am Akash from the Festival Guest Lectures team, and I'll be hosting a very special guest today. This edition of Carpe Diem is powered by TVS Motors. I would also like to thank Radio City for being our radio partner, Radio One for being our Vibes partner, and Pocket Aces for being our entertainment partner. Before we go into welcoming our guest for today, I would like to bring to the viewers' attention that Festival has partnered with the Give India Foundation, which seeks to gather funds to help the needy who have been battered by this unfortunate pandemic. The donation link is in the description below. Please do donate for the good cause. The Festival team always strives to provide you the best experience, and we would love to know your reviews. Do let us know your suggestions that you have by filling the feedback form available in the description box and in the comment section below. With that being said, let me introduce you to our guest, Mr. Ludovico Einaudi. He is an Italian pianist and composer who has scored music for Golden Globe and Academy Award-winning films like Nomadland and The Father. He is best known for his solo piano musings and is one among the most loved pianists and composers in the world. So hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you. I'm in Italy now, and at the moment I'm in the countryside in the north of Italy in my studio.
Awesome,
and
sir.
I don't know how is the weather there over there, but here can you see the fog? Everything is white around the house.
It's almost the same here.
Okay.
Could you play any of your compositions right now before we start with the questions, sir?
Okay. You want
Anything?
some music now?
Maybe Nuolo Bianchi?
I'll play a part of it just to...
Yes. It was so energizing to hear it directly from you instead of from some southern music.
Thank you.
Thanks. So, if we could go over the questions.
Yes.
So, the first question: what inspired you to take music as a career? At what instance of life did you realize that you wanted to become a pianist?
I grew up in my family. My mother was playing music at home. She was playing piano. She was not a professional musician, but she came from a musical family because her father was conductor of orchestra and opera, especially Italian operas. And he was also writing music. He was a composer. And so he was my grandfather from the side of my mother. And he left Italy before I was born. He went first to, before the Second World War, when the fascism was in Italy. He left Italy. He went first to the UK, and then from the UK he moved to Australia to work with an opera company. Then the war started, and in a way he couldn't come back. So he settled in Australia, where he stayed for many years. And then he got ill, he died there. And so my mother lived part of his life with the idea that she could meet, maybe she was hoping to meet her father again, but this didn't happen. So in a way, for her, music was connected with the father, with the distance of between her and her father. So music for her was a sort of medicine to heal this loss that she had, that this suffer. And this I just wanted to say because I think it's connected with the way she was playing music. And there was a sort of area, an aura of nostalgia and of thinking of something that was not there. It was connected to a very strong emotion that she was feeling. So I think I unintentionally, but I received music with this note inside. And I think for me, music, it has to be connected to an emotion, to become necessary for me. If not, music is not just notes, but music for me is a language that has to express something that we have inside. I say that because there are some, I think there are some musicians also that they think of music more in an abstract way. And I think that it's just two different views that you can have about music. For me, the music is a sort of language, is the way that can take emotions out from yourself and take it out and communicate them with other people.
Yes,
this is the meaning. So, in a way, I decided to make music because for me it was the best way to express myself, and maybe the only way that I could really feel that I was doing something that was in touch with my emotions. And with all the rest, I mean, except there are things that I like to do, that I enjoy to do as pleasure. One is photography, for example. That is another strange thing because with photography, I see the world of outside from a different perspective. It's like that I enter in the camera and I watch things that I usually don't see when I don't have the camera in front of me. So it's a sort of different view to the world that give me a different sense. It's different from the music, but it has something that is very, there's a very personal approach to life, to the world. And then I have also, I enjoy very much to stay in touch with nature, because sometimes I even think that I prefer to stay in touch with nature than with humans, because there is a quality in the way nature expresses itself that I find much superior than any words of any human that I can hear. That after a while I find very boring and pretentious. And nature is there without, it doesn't need to say anything to anyone, just talk, being there.
Yes. And
it's so powerful and rich and beautiful that there's not any human resource that is that you can balance with it. And I think also this is why nature has been since the beginning of our history a point of reference for the arts. So every painter, every musician has been inspired so deeply by nature.
So true, sir. When you're trying to compose a music, what is your inspiration? How do you get the inspiration for composing a piece of music? Do you do some activity while you're doing it, or how do you get that inspiration?
Well, I try to it's not easy to because sometimes you find an inspiration from, I don't know, from a book, from from reading some philosophy or reading a science book, a scientific book, or reading a poem by the ancient Greece poetry, Greek poetry, or you can be inspired by the shape of a tree. You can be, but then it works the first time. Then the second time you have to find another inspiration. So it's not that if you get inspired by a plant, then it's one. It works once. Then you have to search. The inspiration is something that you have to search for all your life, and I think it's connected with the curiosity that you have about the thing that surrounds you, and I think any element can be the beginning of something that you search into, and you find a way to describe it, to open, and to describe it and to see it, transform it into a piece of music, or if you're doing music, but you can be, you can do it also with art or photography or whatever.
Like you made IGONE, that song, because you got it inspired from your travels to Africa.
When I was working on in a time lapse, the album that has there's a tree in the cover. It's a tree that is in the middle of the season, so it has green leaves, red leaves, yellow leaves. It's a tree that is living different moments of life together. And looking at the way the leaves were moving, I don't know if you know this piece that is called Walk. And so the beginning is you remember this? And then it goes
Yes, sir.
Do you know this piece?
I seem like I've heard it, but not.
Anyway, this part that I play at the beginning, it's very much connected to the movement of the leaves of the trees. So because in a tree you have the same shape that is connected to the nature of the tree. I don't know, you have an oak, a certain leaf, a certain shape. So this figure of music is the same, but the rhythm and the way it comes back, it's always slightly different. So it's exactly similar how if you take 10 leaves from the same trees and you look at them, they have the same character, but everyone is different. And one is slightly bigger, one is slightly smaller, one has a little imperfection. And so this is the way I use this idea for starting this piece of music.
Yes, sir. Could we go to a fun segment also?
Yeah.
Yes. So we have 1, 2, and 3 over here.
Okay.
These are they carry the posters that movie posters that you have scored the film for. After you choose, you should look at the movie poster and you should say in 1 or 2 sentences what you feel about your experience in the movie. So you could choose any one of them.
So I have to choose one of the numbers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me choose number 2.
So
Nomadland.
briefly, in about 1 or 2 sentences, what do you feel about it? How was the music according to you for that song?
Well, it was a beautiful experience to work with Chloe Zhao. Even if I didn't have to compose anything, because she took from my repertoire. She chose some music from my repertoire, mainly from 7 Days Walking. And I think there was she was explaining about and saying about a beautiful connection between the fact that the film is based on a story and on a character that has left the civilization, in a way, the normal life, for living around the USA on a camper and living a very free life, connected with nature and connected with other people that are doing the same life. And in a way, the music that I composed for 7 Days Walking was inspired during some walks that I had in the mountains, and so there was the inspiration behind the music. My music was with the idea of a distance between me and an organized life. I was very much into a mood of being away from the world. And I think this is the connection. This is why the two things work together.
Yes. You can go to the next movies.
Yeah.
You've chosen 2. You can take any one out of 1 and 3.
3.
Intouchables.
Intouchables. I was just a couple of days ago. I was on Monday in Paris, because it was the anniversary, 10 years anniversary of the release of Intouchables. So I went to Paris to celebrate with all the crew, with the directors, with the actors, and all the rest of the people that worked on the movie. And this is another beautiful experience, because I remember in 2010, I received the script for the film, and then after a while, the two directors came to Milano to show me the film, and they said, "Listen, we have been writing the screenplay of this film. We wrote it because we were listening to this music, to your music, and so we cannot make this film without the music, because it's so connected with how the film came out, with how we wrote it, I think also when they were making the cast for the characters, they were playing my music, and they were also training the actors listening to this music. So I couldn't. I mean, I enjoy very much the story, and I enjoy the relation with the two directors. They are very nice and interesting, but also they have a very beautiful humor that I like.
Yes, sir.
And so we decided to do it. I decided to do it.
The film was enjoyed by us also, sir.
Sorry?
The film was enjoyed by us also. We loved it.
Is it was a very popular film in India?
Yes, sir. It was among the best. The next number, the final poster.
The Father. Yes. So this is another interesting and beautiful collaboration, because I like very much the relation with Florian Zeller, the director. I remember I went to Paris in I think it was 2019, and I was in Paris for some concerts, and we met. I went to the editing room. They showed me the film, and I actually I have had I didn't have time to work on it, because they needed we met in November, and they needed the music for the beginning of January, and so I was extremely busy. But the fact that they had the way they presented to me the project, the fact that the film was so beautifully done, and the acting was incredible with Anthony Hopkins and everything. But also I felt that there was a precision in the script, and all the story was really deep in the way it was narrated in the film. That I felt that I couldn't say no to the project. So they were very open also to help me to do it, to wait for my timings. And so actually there are not very big moments of music. And this was also helpful for me, not to have to write hours of score, but the moments are very selected and concentrated. So in a way, it was more easy once we defined what to do in that session. I remember I went back to Milano, where I had a few concerts in a row, and in the afternoon I was recording the music for The Father, and so it came out as another beautiful collaboration.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot for that, sir. Could you also just play Divinity? Thanks a lot, sir. It was amazing.
Good.
Could you share your experience in the process of making this song, Divinity?
The process of making the song Divenire. Yes. It's not easy to say because to say how it was composed, because the thing that I can say is that it was I received a request from a festival in Italy. It's a festival that is in the north of Italy, in the mountains of the east of Italy, in the area of Trento, in the Dolomites. It's an area of beautiful mountains where they do a festival that is located in different beautiful spots. So you people that doesn't need to carry an instrument big as a piano, for example, a trumpet player can walk for maybe 4 hours up in top of that mountain, and the audience comes. They follow him, and he can make a concert in the middle of the mountains. With the piano, they do also concerts, but you have to be closer to a road. So my concert was in a beautiful field with the mountains. And anyway, the music was a sort of had to be an homage to the mountain, with a very free, of course, with a very open possibility to make this connection. And I was looking at some paintings of an Italian painter from the 19th century. His name was Giovanni Segantini. And he lived, he was coming from this area, but then he moved to Switzerland to live in the mountains, and he was painting the only subjects of mountains. There is a beautiful triptych, 3 paintings. One is called Nature, one is called The Death, One is called, I don't remember the last one was called. Anyway, so I decided to write 3 pieces. Each piece was inspired by one of these paintings. And Divenire, yes, Divenire is the one that is connected to the painting whose title is Life. And I was, in a way, I remind a sort of because in the painting there is a river that you see that is going down from the mountain. So I had this idea of the flow of the water from the top of the mountains going down, opening different, finding its way through the valley and then arriving to the sea. And with this energy that is connected with this idea of the water that is moving. And of course, then there is also the Divenire. It's connected also to the famous Heraclitus words that say that when you go to the water, every time you go to the water is never the same. It's always changing. And so there's this philosophical idea that Divenire means to become. So this idea of transformation.
So, are there any upcoming collaborations that you're planning to make with any new band members? Any insights about upcoming projects that you would like to give us?
I just I'm releasing a new project now in January. Some of the pieces have been already has already been released. A couple of tracks from this project that is called Underwater, and this is a solo piano project that I recorded with this instrument. I don't know how does it sound to you, this piano, but it's this is a piano that sound in a way the way I want a piano has to sound, especially with this music with Underwater. There's like a veil that is. It's like it's a bit foggy and warm at the same time, and it's like the sound from another place, from another dimension that I wanted to. It's more a sound that is coming from inside than from outside, that I wanted to search. So this is, I don't know what you hear, but this is what I wanted.
Thanks a lot, sir. It was really wonderful.
Thank you.
I could have just kept listening to it.
Okay.
And it brings us to the end of this wonderful interview, sir. Thanks a lot for giving us your time.
Thank you.
Hope that
Thank you.
we didn't take a lot of your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a part of Festember. And
Great.
yeah, we got to know about a lot of things about you and about your insights into music. Your journey was really inspiring to us, and I'm sure that it will make a difference in the lives of our viewers. And yes.
Great. Thank you for it. Was a beautiful conversation with you, and say hello to everybody. Bye.
Once, bye, sir. Once again, I would like to remind our viewers that the Divinity donation link is in the description below. The feedback forms link is also available in the description. Please do fill it so that we get your valuable suggestions. This interview is powered by TVS Motors, and I thank Radio City for being our media partner, Radio One for being our Vibes partner, and Pocket Aces for being our entertainment partner. I thank you all for tuning into this wonderful interview. This is me, Akash, signing off. Stay tuned for the next episode of Carpe Diem.
My daddy is my best friend. He plays with me all the time. But a while back, he couldn't play with me at all. He was sick. Mama told me, "Don't worry, baby. Papa is being cared by the best doctors." Doctor uncle was very sweet. He told me that he was going to give a bigger space in my papa's heart to love me. The nurses over there made Papa smile all the time. One day, they took Papa to a room. Like in Ben 10, there were very big machines. Mama said that Papa will be back home very soon. And in 2 days, Papa was alright. I love you, Daddy.
Some things in life are beyond value. Love, care, and your heart. Apollo Hospitals. Because your heart is priceless.